Hi and welcome back to the AHF. Today I'm going to be talking about the protective gear that we wear. We always get questions about what we actually wear as our standard kit and what we recommend. So I'm going to kind of go through my basic personal kit, which is also kit that I recommend. So I'm going to start with the helmet. It's a logical place to start. I wear the Leon Paul Contour Fit Coaching Mask, which this is the second one I've had, and only the second mask I've had in 10 years. Before that I used the Leon Paul 3-weapon mask, which is kind of the standard white bib one, which is still a pretty good mask, but once I moved on to these coaching masks I've never moved back. So yeah, 10 years wearing this mask and the one identical I bought before it. So why would I buy this over other masks on the market? And it's more than just the fact that it's got a black bib, which, okay, black bib looks cool, I'm glad it's black, but there's a lot more to it than that. We have found that the mesh on Leon Paul masks is stronger than any other on the market. I have seen so many masks just cave in. Now you'll see there's this big dent here. This mask is 5 years old now, and it's been used for constant high contact sparring, and I've never actually even bent it back into shape. That's untouched in 5 years. So yeah, that's all it's taken, and that would have been a heavy blow. But I've seen loads of masks just cave in, and things like PBT are especially bad for it. So I trust the Leon Paul masks. They're incredibly well built. Their mesh is exceptionally strong, and the one in this coaching mask is no exception. It works really, really well. And you've also got this nice band on here which keeps everything protected, like a saber mask would have. But and also the bib is a little bit thicker than a normal fencing bib, because it's designed for fencing coaches. They've thickened it a little bit, which is it's a nice touch. Doesn't make a massive difference, but it's a nice touch. But what is the sort of real overriding awesome factor with this mask is the contour fit system inside. Traditionally, fencing masks have what you would call a tongue on the back, which is just a sort of rigid hard section, which is slightly shapeable. And I hate those masks. I wore them for years, but they're just horrible. They never sit comfortably, they're just annoying in every way. But this one, which you can't see easily because of the back protector, has a completely different liner and fit system with this disc on the back with Velcro sections that are elasticated that go out to the disc on the back, which means that when you pull it on, it's easy to get on and off, and it holds nice and comfortable and tightly on when you're wearing it. So I think the contour fit system is incredibly good. So overall, the mask, it looks good. The bib is stronger than most. The mesh is stronger than most. And in terms of comfort, it's the best I've ever had. And I've tried a lot. So that contour fit system is really, really worth having. On to just a few other Leon Paul models. For those that don't want to spend as much as the coaching mask costs, we recommend the Ultimate Club Mask, which you can also now get in a white bib. You'll often see our fencers using them with blue bibs, but they have now released it in white as well. And that mask is almost the same as the coaching mask. The bib is a little bit thinner, only slightly, and blue or white. And the contour fit system is slightly different in the way it goes together, but just as comfortable. So if you want something almost as good as this, but a hell of a lot cheaper, buy the Ultimate Club Mask. What else? Oh, the exchange masks. I've had some really bad experiences with the exchange masks, and those are the ones where the bib slides on and off. So rather than being riveted onto the side of the mask, you'll see it has basically a slider section around here, almost like a cutthroat area, where you can slide the bib in and out for washing. A couple of problems really. Those masks, the liners are just terrible. They don't have the padding and level of protection that the contour fit masks do. But the biggest problem that we've found is that when you look down with the exchange system, it flips up and it stays up. And that's a massive danger. And I've seen that happen now on 6 different masks with that exchange system on. So I really don't like the exchange system unless it has the new basically anti mask flying off device, whatever they want to call it, that loops around the back and pulls the bib in. So that will stop that from happening if you've got that style of mask. Although I'm not sure I'm particularly fussed on that. I'd rather just have a mask that actually stayed on in the first place, which this one does. So yeah, that works really, really well. There's also, of course, the new Leon Paul HEMA mask, which is the sort of tank of masks, and it's kind of like a upscaled version of this, or in fact the exchange one, which I'm not sure is necessary. I've seen a couple now, a couple of members have bought them. They're very robust, but I don't see the need to go beyond what this one is, so I won't be buying one myself at all, I don't think. But it looks like a good product, and I think it'll work perfectly well if you really want to go for it. Right, that's just about masks. So yeah, my recommendation, definitely go Leon Paul. Go coaching mask, contour fit, or ultimate club mask, that's the way to go. And the back of the head protection, for HEMA, back of the head protection is absolutely essential. You should be getting this very, very soon. This is the standard Spez one, comes out just under £20, which I think is a bit of a bargain. It's hard shell with some foam in there, and it's nice and flexible as well. So that gives you excellent back of the head protection and top of the neck, which is rather nice. And the way mine fits in, because it's not really designed for the contour fit mask, but it works perfectly well, is I just don't use the top strap of the mask anymore. It just doesn't need it once that holds into the disc is on the back, and it sits perfectly well and comfortable. So I really do recommend these. Some people like to put the full top protectors on, and you can get Spez and other companies make them that cover the entire mask. I really don't like them, just because they just insulate you even further, and they also have a tendency to catch thrusts as well. So I just don't think they're necessary. This is a really nice strong mask. I don't think it needs anything else on top. By the time this needs replacing, because the top has taken damage, everything else is going to be knackered already. So yeah, there you go, my recommendation on mask. Next, jackets. I use the Axel Pedersen jacket from Spez, which mine, again, I can't remember when I bought it, but it was about when they got released, so it must have been 4 or 5 years ago now, and I've never replaced it. Mike likes to wear the other model, it has the armour sections built in, but I prefer the Axel Pedersen. What can I say about it? Well, the best thing about this jacket is the gusseting or gussetry in the armpits. Most jackets that we ever wore for HEMA, for example, old sort of coaching jackets and gambesons, if you basically raise your arms up like this, is they have a tendency to either lift the whole jacket up with you, which is just annoying. It exposes target areas and also pulls your arms in annoying ways. But also they have a tendency to rip on the armpits because they're just not cut right for what we want to do. Whereas the Axel Pedersen jacket, you can just put the arms up and the body stays exactly where you want it to. And it's all nice and fluid and comfortable. There's more padding than a coaching jacket would have. And overall, there's a good amount of protection. Not enough that you could get away with without wearing elbow guards, for example, but overall an excellent base jacket that you can just put a few other bits on top of. I know a few people had problems with zips early on, but mine's always been good, and I know they have improved them over time. It overlaps on the front quite nicely. I like the cut. It's very comfortable. I think it's got enough padding for what we do. I really do recommend them. And I wear a size medium. I think pretty much everyone in our club wears medium or large, at least as far as the men's jackets go. So yeah, the Axel Pedersen jacket works really well. I know Mike prefers the other one, and he really likes that, and a few other members have bought that one as well. What else? Okay, let's work it down. Leg guards. I still wear the brush cutter guards, which you can buy on Amazon and eBay. They're really, really cheap. But don't assume that they offer all the protection you would want. I keep wearing these because I like very, very light kit where possible. But they don't have as much side of the leg and side of the knee protection as you would want. Although you could really easily just add that yourself if you're willing to do a little bit of modification. But I really like them. They're incredibly light. They're hard plastic on top, but still a little flexible. They're incredibly light, very, very comfortable. So they're my personal preference. But other people in the club that want heavier stuff also wear police riot gear or Spez protectors, and also the Red Dragon leg guards as well, which are incredibly heavy duty compared to what I'm wearing there. So if you want something heavier duty, yeah, Red Dragon or Spez, it's all good. Arm guards, I prefer these police riot ones to what is available for HEMA, because they're cheap, which means my students can afford them for £10 a pair. You get them in army surplus shops and also on eBay. And because they're police riot gear, they're made to very high specification, but because you're buying them second hand, you're getting them dirt cheap. So they are very, very hard plastic with foam on the inside. They're incredibly comfortable, and the only real downside is that they don't have something on top here for protecting the inner arm, which if you're getting hit there too often, well, one, learn not to, and two, if you really are fussy about it, add something on top. But they work incredibly well. They're cheap, they're very robust, and I've only gone through, well, this is my second pair again in sort of 10 years of using this type of arm guard. That's the arm guards. And right, gloves, I've talked about these in a review video. The Red Dragon gloves, I use this as my sort of base glove for, say, synthetic sabres and things like that. And if I'm using, find them, if I'm using like a basket hilt or a rapier, then I wear police riot gloves. Again, they're nice and robust, they work really, really well. I've had this pair for years, and yeah, I don't know, there's not much to say about it really. It's a robust leather glove. So that's overall our equipment levels. Would I recommend anything more or anything else? Well, groin guards, boxes, I would recommend you wear them. I absolutely detest them, so I just learned to protect my groin. But yes, I would recommend them, particularly if you're just getting started out. You're going to take some groin shots and it's not going to be nice, so I'd recommend that. If you want to get a solid chest protector, particularly for women, the plastic chest protectors, but men like them as well, feel free. I don't like them myself, I don't think they're necessary, but some people do. And any other level of protection I would be a little wary of. If you gear up with too much protective gear, it tends to compromise the fight, because what we're doing here is trying to simulate unarmoured combat. So it wants to, the kit you're wearing needs to represent that as closely as possible. So you don't want to be wearing loads of gear. And you also want to avoid too much protective gear, which allows you to just shrug off blows as if they never happened. Funnily enough, it is actually really, really important that you feel some pain on impact, because if you don't, you have no real even reason to protect yourself. It might as well be a video game. You just run along, oh, I've been shot 10 times, that doesn't matter. Okay, it matters. Exposing your flank, for example, and taking an impact to the flank should hurt and should discourage you from doing it. So you need to have enough protective gear that you're not taking actual damage, and that's necessary, for example, on the head and the hands and the elbows and the knees. You need to have protective gear which is hard shell that stops severe injury. But on all the soft areas of the body, I would far rather keep to quite modest levels of protection, like the thinly quilted Axel Pedersen jacket there. So if you take a heavy blow, it's going to hurt. It's not going to do sustained damage or nasty damage, but it will bruise and teach you a good lesson. So that's our overall equipment. Obviously we've got a few other sort of specific things to certain levels of training, but that's the base level of kit. I suppose the last thing is throat protector. I've owned quite a few and I hate them. My Axel Pedersen jacket's got a nice catch on it, I've got a good bib, so I'm happy with that as is, although if you're going into some really high contact tournaments, you might want to get one. If you want a throat protector, then feel free. There are some good options out there from PBT and Spez and All Star and things like that. And I think that about wraps up our protective gear. I suppose I should mention the upper legs. Is that I don't wear any protection on my upper legs. I just find it's extra heat, it's extra level of protection I don't need. The thighs are soft tissue. You wouldn't want to take a sharp cut there because you could, do some real damage. But as far as taking the impact of a blunt, a synthetic blade or a steel blade, it's going to bruise up whatever else. I'm happy to take that. But other people aren't. Spez do some sort of breeches that are padded, and they also do the skirt. For example, Leah Siesta wearing the skirt in the videos, and she seems to quite like that. So if you want upper leg protection, the Spez breeches or skirt work quite well. And now I think I'm finally finished. So that's an overview to protective gear in the AHF. Thanks for watching.